Jayson Garcia, Director of Sales and Marketing here at Hyatt Regency Houston Downtown. I've been back at the property for 3 years, was the Associate Director of Sales here from 2012 to 2016. I have 5 group sales managers, which their roles and responsibility are selling our guest room, selling our meeting space to groups that are coming into Houston. And then I have 1 business travel sales manager that is really focused on just developing the relationships that we have with our negotiated accounts here. Our location is unique here in Houston. I mean, we're only a mile away from the convention center, but our location is unique comparative to anybody else because we're right next to a lot of large corporations that are here in Houston. So you have Chevron, Centerpoint, Deloitte, Total. So really our mix here at the hotel is primarily 60% like negotiated travel that we've set up with these accounts, and then 40% group. So our hotel is a little unique with having 955 guest rooms and 72,000 square feet of space. So when you have a hotel of that size, typically it has over 100,000 square feet in meeting space. With us only having 77,000 square feet of meeting space, our ideal group size is around 300 to 400 rooms on peak. They take all of our space and they are the big fish in the pond. So it'll be just their group and just their attendees that are in the meeting space, in the lobby, in our outlets. So it really caters towards that group that is looking to have nobody layered in within the program that they're doing. I've been in Houston since 2012, and that's been the challenge not only for our hotel, but the entire city of Houston is weekend business. I mean, being the 4th largest city in the United States, I mean, there's so many areas outside of Houston where people live that Monday through Friday, they're here, they're conducting business, and as soon as 5 o'clock hits on Friday, everybody goes to Katy, Woodlands, I mean, Pearland, they go all over. So really it's been an opportunity that the entire city of Houston has had to focus on, but working closely with Visit Houston, they've been targeting groups that are over the weekend, and it's critical for us to be able to have that ability to have a group in-house that touches Friday to Sunday, knowing that we're already positioned in a really good spot with the negotiated accounts that we have here at the hotel. So, I mean, we're trying to think of anything and everything that we can in order to be creative, in order to attract those type of travelers that are coming over the weekend that are looking for things to do in Houston. And as I said, Houston's done a really good job of kind of adding more restaurants to the downtown area and making it more client friendly with people that are coming in, and make it more appealing for those people to not only that live here come into the downtown area, but also that are needing to do meetings on the weekends in different locations, having that ability of having amazing resources available. I mean, it's really trial by fire. I mean, I learned by just getting involved, like talking to customers, going through the process of seeing what they need, taking care of them, making sure that their meetings are the best meetings that they can have. So really, when I have a new salesperson that comes on board, I mean, they'll go through that onboarding process, and Hyatt does a good job of training them to learn the systems. But when you're in sales, like, you're only going to learn by having those conversations with customers and kind of gaining the experience, because I love this industry because every day is different. Like, there's no day that's the same. There's no group that's the same. So I think that's a part of the process when you first start into a hotel. I mean, you have to learn the meeting space names. You have to learn how a meeting will flow well at our property comparative to anybody else that they're looking at. And I'm a big believer in our property speaks for itself. So if we can get them into the hotel and they can cite our hotel and see our amazing staff, then that gives us that leg up comparative to anybody else that they're looking at. Absolutely. So it's really a process with over 45 meeting spaces, from anywhere from 300 square feet all the way up to 16,000 square feet. We have an exhibit hall that's 28,000 square feet. it is critical when you're working with the group to make sure that you have an overall understanding of what they're looking to do for their meeting. So then that way there's no surprises when they come in. And at the end of the day, I mean, there's always going to be challenges and opportunities that we face when the customer's here, but we pride ourselves on making sure that we're adapting and pivoting as soon as we can, because you can have a group that says, hey, I need 5 meeting rooms and it's only for 100 people, and then they check in and change the number to 200. So we have to have the ability to pivot and put them in a meeting space where it'll flow well for them and they continue to come back to Hyatt. So there's a lot of the event details that our event planning managers go into, and I mean, it's a constant process of communication and talking with the meeting planner to make sure that everybody's on the same page so that we don't have those surprises prior to the meeting. We attend probably between 10 and 15 trade shows throughout the year, all over the United States. So when we attend these trade shows, I mean, it's like a Shark Tank. You're there with every other city, every other hotel, every other brand, and they're all trying to put their best foot forward. So Houston has had a difficult time attracting people to Houston, because when people hear of Texas, they think of Austin, they think of San Antonio, they think of Dallas. However, our biggest thing is getting them here to Houston. I mean, Houston is a melting pot of culture, of food, of amazing things. So it's like when people come to Houston and they haven't been here for a while, they see that there's 2 airports. You can fly into Hobby, you can fly into Bush. Lyft getting in and out of Houston is easy, so it makes it very cost effective for their program when they have attendees that are coming into this annual program that they're hosting at the city they are, because of those options that we have. So to piggyback on top of that, once we can get them here to Houston, and whether it's at our hotel or any of the other hotels that are downtown Houston, that's our selling point. And Visit Houston does a good job kind of piggybacking with how can we win the business over any other city, and how can we make sure that their events are unique events where they are going to have a memorable experience. So we kind of tailor some of the logistics that go into the events that people are coming in by. I mean, obviously we're in Texas, so barbecue and cowboys are big themes in Texas. So those are a lot of like the breakouts that we do and some of the meal options that we provide. And then working along with the city and locations like the Rustic that are next to the convention center, really giving them that overall experience with Texas that's going to make their event memorable and they want to return. So, I mean, I feel like even if it's a citywide event where we're not only working with the other hotels, but also the Convention and Visitors Bureau, once we can get them here to Houston and see how amazing this city is, then we position all of us to have amazing events outside of what we're already doing here at the hotel. We want to bring large events and large groups like the Super Bowl, NCAA, FIFA. We want to bring them here to the city of Houston because it has an overall impact, not just on hotels, but restaurants and some of these mom and pop shops. Like, you start to see an uptick in revenue, but it is competitive as well, because it's like at the end of the day, once we can get them here to Houston, we're competing against 3 other big box hotels. So we have to do what we can in order to put our best foot forward. But when I came back to the hotel in May of 2022, what I did was I kind of got with all of the director of sales that are in the downtown area, and I said, hey, we're all bidding on this business. We are all trying to get the awareness here to the city. We should do a monthly happy hour, and I'd be happy to host the first one. And it just allows us to make sure, like, we don't need to share any confidential information in regards to rates or in regards to what we're offering. But what it'll do is it'll make sure that we're all aligned and we're doing everything that we can in order to win it over any other city that's being bid. So, I mean, I'm close friends with a lot of the other director of sales that are here in the Houston market. And I think having that communication and having that ability to just come together, and whether we're talking business or not, it just sets us apart from most other cities where the DOS or director of sales and marketing don't necessarily meet. They're all just competing against the same stuff. But I think overall, at the end of the day, when you build those type of relationships with your coworkers and with people that are in and around Houston, it's going to be beneficial for everybody. The convention center is in the process of being expanded on the right side. So what that's going to do is it's going to allow us to immediately start targeting groups that are larger than the ones that we've currently bid. So maybe some groups are only looking at Vegas or only looking at New York because they have those larger convention centers, but we're in the process of doing that upgrades to the convention center that should be started by the end of the year, completed by 2028, which was a large selling point in why we were able to get the Republican National Convention here in Houston in 2028. Because of the growth and because of some of the things that are coming to the city of Houston, they've offered some renderings that show a full renovation, which, I mean, you look at kind of the impact of what that will bring to the city of Houston. And I mean, we're talking millions and billions of dollars at the end of the day when you look at having a new and shiny convention center and upgrading what we have available here in the downtown area will continue to allow Houston to stay competitive when bidding on these large scale type of events. So, I mean, it's a long-term focus and it's a long-term goal that we are implementing here in the city of Houston, that it's just going to put us in that much more of a competitive position to get better business here in the city. So the new renovation that's starting on the convention center on the right side at the end of this year, as I said, will be complete by the time the Republican National Convention is here in 2028. So, and then they'll start working on the front and the left side of the convention center. And then, I mean, 10, 15 years from now, they're talking about behind where you have 59, really just putting that underground and then making green space behind the convention center where it currently sits. And that's just going to give the ability for attracting better groups and more business and unique things that can come to the city of Houston. So that's not another probably 10 or 15 years away, but to be able to see the footprint and see what they have visioned for the city of Houston, I'm excited. I mean, I think we went through that whole process after COVID where people were doing virtual meetings and people weren't coming together. But last year, I think we really saw an uptick in regards to in-person meetings, having events at hotels and travel back to pre-COVID levels. But as I was saying earlier, when we're looking at next year, there's a lot of uncertainties. I mean, these uncertainties that are coming into play could potentially be tariffs or what administration is in office. And I mean, there's a lot of things when you look at where we are as a country that is impacting the hospitality industry going into next year, just because there's job reports that are saying that layoffs have been the highest that they've been in 5 years. And those are the type of impacts that we need to look at and we need to consider when doing our budget for 2026. So those are all things that kind of play into, okay, are companies going to be traveling as much? Are they going to have as many businesses that they did in 24 and in 25 going into next year? So there's a lot of uncertainties that are there, but I think that there will be growth year over year compared to this year. It just may not be as significant of a percentage that we've seen over the last couple years. I'm excited that FIFA's coming to the city of Houston and to Hyatt Regency Downtown. I mean, it's going to have a immediate impact in regards to what events are being held at this hotel. It's just going to get more eyes on the city of Houston. So I think FIFA is going to be something that Houston has never seen before in regards to how many people are going to be in and around this city, that I think everybody's getting excited as it's getting closer and closer. Yeah, so not to give any away trade secrets or anything, but I mean, we're already here at Hyatt Regency Houston looking at how can we reach out to large corporations to say, hey, we have a unique rotating restaurant that is amazing event space here at the property. Do you want to have the ability to rent it out? And it could be the American Express relaxation center or the American Express happy hour location for the entire course of when FIFA's here. So we're looking to do things outside of the box here at the hotel in regards to events. So that way, the sooner we can do it and the sooner we can lock in things like that, the better off we're going to position ourselves when FIFA is here next year. So we're also looking at, we have so much space here at the hotel that we're looking at doing pop-up TVs and putting bars and availability outside on the porte-cochere that we have here on Louisiana, so that people can have watch parties and people can gather in one location to watch their team play. And I think having contacted some of the other hotels that are in the downtown area, I think we're ahead of the curve in regards to planning and looking at that now, as opposed to waiting to next year to look at those. So the sooner that we can lock that in is going to position ourselves that much better here. At the end of the day, we have our budgeted number that we have to make, and we give the sales and events team the flexibility to negotiate. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like you want to make sure that the customer's taken care of, and we want to make sure that we are sold out on a regular basis. So they have the flexibility in regards to what that guest room rate's going to be, what the food and beverage minimum is going to be. So we allow our sales and events team the flexibility in order to create those relationships where not every hotel brand gives you that flexibility. So I think that's what sets Hyatt apart in general, of having the ability to take care of the customer to fit within their needs and what their budget is. We have some extreme flexibility with that. So, I mean, you implement things like AI into how we price and what we do, but at the end of the day, it's about customers and it's about that sales interaction that they have on a daily basis. That, I mean, I think we're going to be able to have the ability to use AI to our benefit, but never remove the interaction that you have with the customer, because that's what sets, I think, sales and events people apart at hotels and in any location. I mean, at the end of the day, you can have AI do so much, but people want that live interaction. So